Well, happy Wednesday to you, and I'd like to welcome you to another installment of Weapons Wednesday. So last week we profiled the 6-pounder ship's cannon that we had built, and this week we thought we would switch back to firelocks that are in our traveling gun museum. Before we get into the gun, I would like to thank Ed and Linda Thornhill of Logan, West Virginia, for the generous gift of this work of art. So Ed and Linda had contacted me a couple months ago, and I drove down to talk to them about the gun, and they wanted to gift it to the museum. So again, thanks so much, Ed and Linda Thornhill, who have been dear friends of ours for years, for the generous gift of a West Virginia-built gun. So, about the gun, it's a Leonard Meadows gun. Leonard lived in Shady Springs, West Virginia. That's where his shop was. He died in 1975, and he was an amazing gun builder. I think he primarily stayed with rifles. I think there's some accounts of him making a few pistols, but shot bags, knives, he made it all and did an amazing job. This gun, it's made in the old style, maybe a Wallace Gusler influence type gun. And I have read in some of the old muzzle blast magazines that Wallace Gusler used to shoot with him. Their club was located in Shady Springs, or in the Beckley area there, and went on to become Mountaineer Flintlock Shooting Club that now resides on Coal River Road in St. Albans, West Virginia. So it's neat. They even gave an account of Mr. Meadows being, in the car with Wallace Gusler, an old 64 Mercury, as they were driving to a shoot. So he was heavily influenced by Gusler, and I think you can tell that by the architecture and the style of build on this gun. The lock, like I said, is a Bob Roller lock. Bob Roller's doing great, still alive, not making locks currently, but doing well. Resides in Huntington, West Virginia, which is somewhat near me. I think it's been a couple months since I've spoken to Bob, but last I heard, he's doing well. The barrel is a Bill Large barrel, W large as it's stamped. And I thought was rather interesting on this gun that the William Large has the stamp on it, which is Bill Large's stamp, but it says for L. Meadows, Leonard Meadows. So I've got multiple guns that have William Large, Bill Large barrels on them, but very few are stamped for the actual gun builder. So there's a lot of really neat things about this gun that I wanted to share with you guys. And of course, if we can, and what I mean by if we can, if the gun's an original, which we will profile a lot of original guns here, we probably will not fire it. But the hand-built guns and the replicas we will definitely fire, as we will fire this one before the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. Now, Bob's still alive. He lives near me in Huntington, West Virginia. And to say that his locks are well made would be an understatement. They're kind of like, well, they're kind of like Swiss watches, to be honest with you. The gun builders that might be watching, that's a really interesting feature. That holds the front of the lock plate in place. I've never seen that before. So, I'll show you how it works. Actually slides in that carved hole there. Allowing the lock to seat properly in the gun. Interesting. Okay, 39 caliber. Let's start with that. Maybe take a 40 as well, or two. Okay, so first we're going to go to the half-cock position. We'll take our primary horn, and I measure and load from the hand. I know, probably not a good thing to do, but just what I've done over the years. So we'll recap the horn. Powder down the muzzle. Even though we're not shooting for a target, we'll go ahead and wet patch this round. Spit patch. Get our round from our ball bag. Seat the round, then ram the round, making sure it seats all the way down on the powder load. Return the rammer. Always be aware of the muzzle for safety. Pull out our priming horn. Prime. Again at the half-cock position. Close our frizzen. Half-cock position. And into the water. Can't miss the pond. And everybody likes to watch the pond get shot, so. Okay, so again, we profiled this weapon. Beautiful weapon. I want to thank Linda and Ed Thornhill again for a beautiful, gracious gift to the museum. And I want to take a moment to thank you for tuning in for this cold edition of Weapons Wednesday. All right, you guys be safe and have a great week.